Could Bill Belichick be the next head coach of the Washington Commanders? And yes, you heard that correctly, the Washington Commanders. Rumors from NBC and Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio are that there's chatter in the league that Washington has interest in one of the greatest head coaches of all time. Seems crazy at first glance, but the idea isn't too far-fetched if you look at the facts. Washington clearly rebuilding. We saw this from the fire sale they had at the deadline, selling defensive ends Montez Sweat and former 2020 second overall pick Chase Young. Receiving a second rounder for Sweat is a decent return for a player you don't expect to re-sign in the offseason, but Young for only a third rounder, not great. That's gotta hurt. The team would look much different if they selected Tua or Justin Herbert that year when they were in need of a QB. Head coach Ron Rivera should already be on the hot seat as the team sits at 3-5. Rivera has been less than mediocre since joining the team back in 2020 with a 25-32-1 record. The team has shown flashes here and there, but I don't think that anyone in the league actually fears the Commanders with Rivera at the helm. I expect him to be gone in the next few weeks or at least by the end of the season. Could the Pats actually get rid of Belichick? I mean, it's possible. New England really hasn't been the same since Tom Brady left and have looked like an average team without the Hall of Famer. This could be Robert Kraft's excuse to let Belichick go and not actually have to fire him. Honestly, firing one of the greatest head coaches of all time isn't a great look for a franchise, especially if the next man up ends up being a bust. Washington has been arguably the most dysfunctional organization over the past 5+ years. All the Dan Snyder drama, below average attendance, the leaking poop pipe, and multiple name changes. Listen, just call it the Washington football team. This team has been a disaster. With new owner Josh Harris and his group, I expect big changes to happen, and Belichick could end up being one of them. It's a stretch, but in a sport like football, arguably the sport where the coach has the most impact, we have seen crazier deals like Sean Payton and a third-round pick being traded for a first and a second. Big fail right there. Do you think there's any truth to this rumor? Could Bill Belichick be traded to the Commanders in the offseason? Let us know down below.